For the first circuit, we're going to have three light, kind of explosive exercises. I'm going to show you a few varying degrees, and actually this first one, the sprinter, I actually can't even do it that well myself. So we're going to be here, we're going to start in a plank basically. My shoulders are actually going to be a little bit forward of my hands. So you can see I'm a little bit forward of my hands. This left leg is off the ground, my plant leg is going to be my right leg. I'm going to shift back and load into that right leg. Now you can see my back foot has touched the ground. Ideally, in a perfect world, we don't want to touch the ground, okay? But I'm not perfect, so I'm not able to do that. So we do what we can, keep it as light as possible. Push back up, and we'll pull back again. Okay, again, trying to keep that foot off the ground. If you're struggling with it at first, you might cue yourself up and be able to do it later on. So keep trying to leave that back foot off the ground. And we rock forward, okay? So we kind of show the other side now. Again, shoulders are going to be in front. I'm going to have my plant foot be back and my moving leg be forward, up here in this position. I'm going to push back, loading that back leg, and pushing back up. Trying to find that big toe, and making sure that I breathe. I'm going to do 6 to 8 on each side. Then I'm going to have my band set up. I've got two bands tied together, and I've got that just hooked around the post. Any post works, okay? The first is going to be, the loop will be behind you. We're going to put the bands around our hands. We're going to get the split stance. Now we can start here. If your chest is really tight, you really want to focus on opening the chest and shoulders. We can stay real stable. Press out, fly out. Press, and then fly out slowly under control. Get that big stretch. Circle back around, back to our press position. Now, I like folks to choose them to get up on that toe, that front toe, so both my heels are off the ground. I'm getting a lot of hip stability, a lot of work there, the core, my legs are having to be a good support, and then I repeat the same motion. Press, fly back out. Press, fly back out. Everything's under control. Notice my torso stays still. I'm pretty upright. I've got a little forward lean, but I'm pretty upright. And I'll do 6 to 8 on each side. So my right side, then my left side. Then I'll take the same band. This one you may be able to handle a little bit heavier band. That'd be great. You can also do this on a cable. That would work as well. We're going to do a squat row and then a squat jump. And we're going to get a little rhythm going. So we start, arms extended, butt down. We're going to stand in row. Then we're going to do a jump row. Okay? So stand in row, jump row. Stand in row, jump row. And then we start speeding it up. Making sure you're breathing into your nose and out through your mouth. And then, especially on the second set, third set, what we want to do is we really want to explode. My legs still bother me, so I'm not going to jump real high today, but we really want to explode and get as high of a jump and as big of a rip as possible and make it fast and really get those fast twitch fibers going. So we'll run through those three, the sprinter, 6 to 8 on each side. Then we'll do the split stance, press out, fly back. Press out, fly back. Remember, try to get up on that toe if you can. If you're looking for more stretch in the chest, you can go a little bit more intense, but keep that foot stable. So if you add stability in the base, you could go a little more aggressive at the stretch up here, okay, if that's something that you need to do. Or if you're just kind of looking for a systemic good stretch, good movement, nice stability in the legs, it's good to get up on those toes. And then the squat row, squat jump, go slow at first, ramp up into it. A lot of folks try to overcomplicate it. Remember, we start arms, so this is our base stance. So whenever we mess up, we stand, we go right back to here, stand in row, jump in row. So you're rowing every time. It's just alternating between a jump and stand, which is really kind of a jump and stand up, which is really kind of just the same exact thing. So we'll do 4 rounds of this. Right, so for our second circuit, we just have 2 exercises, but they're unilateral, so you'll have both sides on each one. So it's kind of like 4 little deals. We're gonna set up the landmine. I've got a 25-pound weight here. You need to have a large weight, so if you have bumper plates, this is ideal. If you don't have this, you can kind of get a dowel rod, a stick, or it really helps if you have the landmine. So give it a shot if you don't, but we're gonna get it by putting it up on the shoulder, okay? It doesn't really matter which foot you have in front as opposed to which shoulder you have the weight on. So if you have a personal preference, just go with it. If you're on the same side, so the weight's on my left side, you put your left foot forward, you're gonna have a little bit more isolated in this leg, which is fine, okay? We'll have our back leg in a kickstand, so we got 90% of our weight on this front leg, just a little bit here in the back. We're gonna drop in and back up. I am actually leaning against this plate back here. So the back, that plate is supporting me. And I'm going down and up. A lot of quad here. So we're not really feeling the back side, we're feeling much more of that front side, keeping my core tight. There's no spinal movement. I'm not wiggling all over the place. And I'll set it down, or I can go switch to the other side. Again, find your stance. You may have to mess around with that stance. Even I'll sometimes get the stance, I'm pretty close, but like, no, I want to go out a little further. No, I went out too far, I need to come back a little further. So mess with that stance a little bit. And again, nice smooth movement. This back knee can touch the ground. We don't want to transfer the weight over to it though. Following that, we're gonna grab one kettlebell. A dumbbell obviously would work as well. We're gonna have the same kickstand stance. We're gonna bring that back leg forward a little bit. We're not way back here. We're gonna be more here towards the front. And whatever leg is in front is gonna be our working leg. So I'm gonna have 90% of my weight on this front leg, holding the kettlebell at my side with my palm back. It's important not to hold here. We need that palm back, set that shoulder, 90% of the weight on this front leg. Find that big toe, and I'm gonna hinge, and if I can, I'm gonna try to go down to the ground, okay? And then I'm gonna pull back up, and I'm just working on lengthening that hamstring, that adductor, finding that big toe. Don't let that heel roll, don't let that foot roll out to the side, okay? It'll try to do that, it'll make it easier for you. We're not looking for that, we're looking to invert, push that big toe down, big hinge, and come back up. Big hinge, come back up, and we'll scoot back underneath. So, we'll get both ways. We're gonna do the right, do the left. We'll do 8 to 10. We'll do 8 to 10 on the right here, and we'll do 4 sets. Take your time with these. We don't have to rush them. One, boom, 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 boom. Take your time, get a drink, especially between the squats and the hinges, going back and forth between the 2 exercises. 4 rounds, 8 to 10 each time. All right, so finish out third circuit in this workout. We're gonna do a vertical pull. Now, I'm not really picky on this. I would love for it to be some sort of neutral grip or overhand grip pull-up. That would be awesome. Some ways you can make that easier for yourself. I like to build up the ground, okay? If you have a bench, that would work also. If you can have a barbell, a lower too. You see us do that in some previous videos, lower that bar down to you. So either bringing the bar down or bringing the ground up is a way to help you do this. I prefer this over bands because bands are always giving you help, whereas this we can monitor and give you not a lot of help in the beginning and more help later on. And we also always want to pay attention to our eccentric if we're going to do that. So just to show you a few quick reps here, we're going to use the ground, be here, make sure that you're underneath. Don't start here because then you're going to end up swinging everywhere. Start underneath, we're going to pull, and then we're going to control that eccentric. Let yourself get all the way down before you put those feet down on that box. Reset underneath and go again. Or you can just rep out pull-ups like a lot of people can do. Now, we also have the option to do a vertical pull like on a cable. Get some handles here, okay? Screw up close because again we want to be vertical, sit up tall, pull down to that chest, let up. If we let all the way up, we're getting some upper back work along with our lats, okay? If we don't let all the way up, so if we go down, and then we just go here where the lats are extended and don't allow that last little part, we can focus on isolating the lats, okay? They're both good. You actually need both of them, so I would mix them up, or you can do a set today, one way, and then another way the next week, however you want to do it. There's a myriad of ways to mix that up, but make sure you are getting both in. So, vertical pulls, depending upon the intensity here, on a cable or with a band, I would do 10 to 15 reps. Here on pull-ups, probably going to be more 5 to 7 to maybe 10 reps on this, especially if we're really focused on that eccentric. After the vertical pull motion, you don't have to do, again, you don't have to do all those. I'm just giving you some different options. I'm more interested in pulling something from up here down to here, specifically in that scapula plane with those elbows a little bit in front of your shoulders. We're gonna keep our core tight. We're gonna do a 45-degree lunge. So I'm gonna go 45 degrees back to my rear. So back to my rear left corner. I'm gonna pivot this foot, so now both feet are pointing the same way. And then I'm gonna use power to explode back up here, okay? Pivot 45 degrees, power back up here. That was a little too good. Okay? I don't wanna be here, go down, stand up, turn around, come back. I don't wanna be mechanical like that. I wanna be smooth, work on power, rotate, catching, pushing. Okay, so we're working a little bit of fast twitch fiber there, working on a little coordination. working some of that rotation. You know, it's my favorite play to be in, okay? So we'll do 45 degrees. You can also hold a kettlebell right here. I would hold it at your chest. The further out you are, we had that lever arm post that we talked about. The further out you are, it's gonna be more challenging. So make sure that we keep it close and just be ready if you're gonna have it far away from you to handle those forces. The last thing we did, we got on the sled. We drug the sled down, pushed it back, okay? We did some sets that were quick. We did some sets that were heavy, okay? And I just kept mixing it up on everybody. So if you have access to a sled, great. You could run sprints. You could do a whole myriad of things. We're trying to get the heart rate up. Run a hill sprint would be great. You could do crawls, a lot of different things, just trying to get that heart rate up with some locomotion, okay? Sled is my favorite. I use sled in almost every workout for myself, for the folks we train. So if you have that or have access to that or thinking about getting something, they sell little sleds that you can just do on the street in front of your house or your driveway. So that works too if you're trying to stay home. But anyway, we're gonna run through 4 rounds of that. Again, vertical pull, depending upon the intensity. If we're on the cables, maybe or the bands, maybe 10 to 15 reps. If we're actually doing our body weight, we're doing something super heavy, you'll do less. 45-degree lunge, we're gonna do 8 each side. Remember, we wanna pivot that foot back, push back up, each direction. We're gonna stay on the same side, don't alternate. We're gonna do all one side then the other. And then we'll move on to some sort of locomotion, preferably the sled. This week we drug the sled back, pushed it forward. Our deal's about 35 yards. Okay, so we did some heavy, we did some lighter and quick, but have fun with it.